Hello, welcome again to the fourth episode of 69 consecutive deep pulls. We are here again today and for the next 65 days to open up a pack of magic cards and give you all the fun and information we can get out of it. Today, we are going to open up Commander Legends. It's like Time Spell Remastered in terms of being kind of a throwback referential set, but a little bit interesting. It's also got 20 cards in it and, of course, the Commander theme, so let's see what we get. First things first, we have here a Renegade Tactics. A little fun card, I believe from Aether Revolt originally. Just gives you a little bit of a spell thing, so it's just a cantrip, but it's got a small little effect on it. So that's kind of fun. We've got here Scholar of the Stars, 3/2 that draws a card if you control an artifact. I believe from one of the more recent core sets, like an M13, M14, maybe a little recent, M19 even. But yeah, plays into the artifact deck. Lots of artifacts in Commander Legends. We've got here Lifecrafters Gift. This is a card from, I want to say Aether Revolt. Yeah, so trying to look at the art to remember all this stuff. So Aether Revolt originally gives a lot of +1/+1 counters. Again, another big theme of support in that set. Now we've got Welding Sparks. This one I remember quite well from Kaladesh. Another artifact kind of support card. Kind of the basic red common removal in that set. Always did 3 damage, and sometimes you can do a lot more depending on how many little artifacts you get, little tokens. Strangely enough, not a ton of things like treasure, non-creature tokens in this set. We've got the first unique card here from Commander Legends, Kitesail Skirmisher. This one has the Encore ability, an Encore ability which is like a cross between Unearth and Myriad. Unearth was an ability from Shards of Alara associated with the Grixis shard. That basically allowed you to pay a one-time cost to kind of get the card out of the graveyard for 1 turn, at which point, if it left the battlefield again, it would be exiled, and you had to sacrifice it in a turn. Encore does that, but with the Myriad ability, which was a weird commander ability that let, whenever that creature attacked, you'd make a copy that attacked each player. So you can encore it to get a copy and a copy back, and then all the copies attack different players. This one has a little attack trigger, so it can make your other creatures harder to block. Can be a lot of potential damage, especially on a big board. We've got here Pilgrim's Eye, classic at this point design. Originally from World Wake, a 3/3 flyer that lets you search for a basic land. Really good colorless mana fixing in World Wake. That was an original Zendikar block set. It was the second set of original Zendikar block. So fetching lands had that extra utility in that set because of landfall and all that fun stuff. In this set, it just helps fix, and luckily helps fix any color. Because one of the things with Commander, and we'll see that with some of these legends when we do open them, is how they work in a draft format here. Next, we've got Cage of Hands. Cage of Hands is originally from Champions of Kamigawa. This is the pacifism variant for that set. It's just got the extra utility, increased mana cost from pacifism, but the extra utility of being able to be bought back and played again. Again, really useful in Commander because you might, use it really early and then a big thing comes out from one of your other opponents and you got to put it on there. Next, we've got Entourage of Trest. This is the instance, a reprint from Conspiracy Take the Crown, aka Conspiracy 2, has the Monarch mechanic. Monarch made a return here in Commander Legends, and basically is a intended for multiplayer games sort of thing, where if you are the Monarch, at the beginning of your end step, you get to draw an extra card. But combat damage or someone else playing a card like this lets them become the Monarch. There's only a single Monarch in a game, so Trest is one of the sites in the weird world where Conspiracy happens with all the backstabbing. But it gets a little benefit. Most of the Conspiracy cards are like that, where you get a little benefit if you are the Monarch. This set kind of turns around because there's some where you benefit if you're not the Monarch and you're trying to steal it back. We've got here Malefield Twins. Just a big body that gives you a couple 2/2s when it dies. Originally from, I want to say, the second Innistrad set, Shadows over Innistrad. Yes. Ooh, similarly themed to these Innistrad things, this is Scag Goliath. It's a big creature, 6/9 trample for just 6. The conceit of this was that in original Innistrad, one of the ways they wanted blue to feel like a zombie color, where it doesn't normally, blue you wouldn't really think of as zombies all the time, is they gave them all this drawback that you had to actually find materials out of your graveyard. You had to grab them. So in this case, you had to grab more than any of the other cards. Some of them were just one. Stitch Drake is really popular for that. So this was originally in the first Innistrad set, and then kind of became a popular reprint. Got reprinted in one of the core sets, an M set at some point, and now here again. Pirates Cutlass. As the pirate part suggests, this is originally from Ixalan, which is the first set that really focused heavily on pirates. You do have a few actually pirate-themed commanders and cards in blue-red in this set, so this is really good there. I loved Pirates Cutlass in that draft format because you had so many small tokens, even outside of the pirate deck. Like the vampire deck had tons of tokens, but cool. They've done this a lot now where like it automatically attaches when it enters the battlefield, so that's fun. We've got here Benevolent Blessing, kind of a return to form. White's gotten a lot of auras like this that do like, give protection to a certain color. Alpha Beta had the wards, black, named after the color, so black, blue, red, green, white, and they were all 1-mana auras that gave a creature protection from that color. They very specifically ensured that they couldn't be used to remove themselves, which is why White Ward just works in that set. And this is also an upgrade of that. You pay an extra mana, but you get flash, and you get to choose the color. A similar version is Chalmano's Blessing, which was from Mercadian Mask. That was double white. That one I think had the extra benefit of you could put it on your opponent's stuff. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to remember why that one's a little bit better, because I think you can use it to make sure your opponent can't target stuff, or you can take if your opponent's stuff is on there, because this one has a thing that like makes sure auras and equipment still survive, but it's weird. Lightning Rig Crew. Again, a pirate card. We talked about those pirate synergies. Also from Ixalan. A fun little card to wring extra damage out of all your pirate spells. Fun in that format. Pirates were just all over Grixis, the entire shard, as it were. And in this set, they're just basically blue-red. Arcane Signet. Ooh, cool card. Arcane Signet is the de facto go-to mana rock for commander decks now, which is why it's in this set. Originally, it was a Brawl-specific card in the Throne of Eldraine decks. The Throne of Eldraine had very specifically like pre-made Brawl decks when Brawl was trying to be a thing in paper. I hope it is still when we get back to actually playing again. I like still playing it on Arena. Very popular card, and for a while it was worth a ton relative to being basically in every set. Scale Behemoth. This is a crocodile from the Plane of Amonkhet, 6/7 hexproof. They started making these really big hexproof creatures. Plated Crusher was in Zendikar at Uncommon. Hexproof has been a really big green ability. Usually, originally called Troll Shroud in shorthand. It was on Troll Aesthetic, I think, was the first card that really focused on it, really, in terms of like being popular. But again, it eventually just became Hexproof, and here it is on Big Creature. Now we've got, a card I don't know that well. Profane Transfusion. 2 target players exchange life totals, and then you get XX creature that reflects the difference between those life totals. So it's a fun little politics card, which Commander has a ton of. It's also a ton of mana to cast, 9 mana, so you get kind of a big effect. You get to, mess around with people's lives. And if you're playing with more than 2 players, you get to change their 2 life totals, and you still get something afterwards. We've got the first actual commander here, Casket the Flesh Sculptor. Black had a lot of artifact synergies, but I want to focus not just on the artifact, but on the partner mechanic. Partner was originally in Commander 2016 as a way to kind of promote 4-color commander decks. 4-color was the theme of that commander set before they started making them tied to specific booster releases. And Partner was on a lot of 2-color commanders, with the idea being that you could pair this blue-green partner card with, say, this red-white partner card, and all of a sudden you have a blue-red-green-white deck. Ended up being super, super powerful, and just a way to play 4 colors, and also get 2 commanders, which basically means you started with like 2 extra cards in your opening hand instead of 1, which is normal in Commander. So in this set, they solved that dilemma by making all the partners monocolored. And because there's a lot of artifacts in this set, this can be very useful. You also, I'll emphasize it on this next one. We've got another one here. We've got Goremuldrock Anthropologist. This gives you and your permanence protection from salamanders, and it makes a bunch of 3/3 salamanders, and it gives them to your opponents. Each opponent can make it's a 3/2. 4/3 is the tokens. So another kind of 2-color thing, and that kind of gets to the idea of how commanders worked in Commander Legends. You drafted them, and you built your deck around them. You drafted 3 of these 20-card boosters. You made up to a 60-card deck. If you had partner, which was just on the multicolor ones, you got to make 2. You got to do 2 partners together to make a deck, or you could just draft 1, 2 or 3-color legend like this and just play those colors. We've also got here our foil, 1 foil per pack. This is Sky Diamond. The diamonds were originally uncommons in the Mirage set, and I think they were designed to kind of feel like Moxes, but appropriately scaled to the actual power level that Moxes probably should be at. Moxes, of course, are 0 mana artifacts, and each one of them taps for a specific color. Mox Ruby is the red one. My dog Ruby is kind of named after that Mox Ruby. But this is comes into play tapped and it costs 2, so 2 ways to really bring it down. Mirage is funny because they also tested out a fixed Black Lotus, which is called Lion's Eye Diamond, which you may have heard of. LED, of course, very popular in Storm cards, very expensive as well. And the last real card in this pack is the Prismatic Piper. Here is another way to help with the partner commander draft legends. This is a colorless partner that can be any color you'd like. So if you end up with just say 1 partner and you want to kind of play a second color, you can just say, oh, this is red now, and it's red, and you get to play a black-red deck. Also, in theory, you can just have 1 of these and a monocolor deck if you draft no commanders, or 2 of these and play a 2-color deck if you still, of course, draft no commanders. And finally, we get a copy token. Doesn't matter that much. But thank you for this taking this trip with me through Commander Legends. A set that had a lot of fun mechanics, and we'll get to open one of these again soon. At this time, I'd like to thank you again for watching. I forget that people say this in the YouTube videos, but like, comment, and subscribe. And that's much appreciated because it makes sure that you're engaged and lets me know if you actually care about these. But even if you don't, I did promise another 65 of these, and we will keep going. Thanks again. Have a great day.